They keep trying to put you in this black box, like only people of my complexion, okay, only people who are darker than the brown paper bag, okay, because that's really what this is about. It's really about colorism. Because if I was a light-skinned person and my hair was down to my back, I wouldn't even have to have this debate at all whatsoever. Like, let's just call it what it is. What's going on? I'm AnokhiTheOne, back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be responding to hate comments. I'm not going to say hate. Trolls, people who are disrespectful. I'm going to respond to one of my most hated YouTube videos. And the one that has gotten the most pushback, which is the video called From Native American to African American. So you should go and watch that video, so you have more context to what I'm talking about, okay? So, and I broke it all the way down, and now I have genealogical evidence in my actual genealogy to prove what I'm talking about, okay? So, a lot of people kept commenting on how I look. I obviously don't look like Pocahontas. I don't look like the Indian in the cupboard. I don't look like the Disney Indians that we have been taught to believe in. But I need y'all to understand that a tribe, right? None of these people can prove that any of my ancestors have come from Africa in any amount of time that even matters, because they say Africa is the motherland, which means everybody is from Africa, okay? Everybody on earth is of African descent, according to their beliefs, okay? So that means everybody, white, black, doesn't matter what color. So what's important is when you got here and how long your ancestors were here. How do you know how long your ancestors were here? Genealogy. Okay, a DNA test cannot tell you how long you were in a particular place. How can a DNA test tell you if your great-great-grandfather was in Mississippi or if they were in Africa? How can a DNA test tell that unless they're digging up graves? You can't. And it's just a distraction. Okay, so I've been doing the work, genealogy. My grandfather, my 91-year-old grandfather, you hear me talk about him a lot on here and on my Instagram. He is full-blooded Choctaw, okay, from Mississippi. I have the records of his grandfathers on both sides, okay? His grandfather on both sides, it shows you full, and it's as far as blood, and it shows Choctaw in their records. Full Choctaw. Matter of fact, and this is how they discriminate on people, they want to call it freedmen, okay? I want to call it freedmen because they're black, and now they're telling you freedman is a person who was freed from slavery, or their ancestors were slaves and they were free. This is a lie. I have evidence that this is a lie.
Freedmen. The only thing that was taught inside of these schools, in these freedmen schools, was Bible study. The reason why they called these people freedmen is because they wanted to free their mind, okay, from what they were originally used to and already accustomed with. This is called a form of indoctrination. This was a social engineering experiment that was done to manipulate the mindset of the people and free them, okay, from their original way of thinking. But this is going to free you. This is going to save you.
My grandfather, who I said is full-blooded Choctaw, okay, darker than me, hair kinkier than me, okay, excuse me, and his grandfather, and this is Johnson last name. That is a very Choctaw last name, okay? Y'all think it's black? No, it's Choctaw, okay? His grandfather was put up for adoption 9 times out of 10 because his father is at the same time. His father So my third great grandfather, he was full-blooded Choctaw. It shows it under the scrolls as full-blooded Choctaw. He, 9 times out of 10, was removed to Oklahoma to be on a reservation and left his son behind. This is what I said in the original video. This is happening all the time, okay? Left his son behind in Mississippi, okay, to be with his friends, whatever. I don't know how that went. Okay, and maybe it was, as we know, the Trail of Tears was not an easy route to get to Oklahoma, okay? So my second great grandfather, the son of my third great grandfather, who's Henry Johnson, shown as full Choctaw, he was a freedman Choctaw. He's a Mississippi Choctaw freedman. Why was he a freedman? Was he a slave? No. He's the son of a full-blooded Choctaw person. Why would he be considered a freedman if he was the son, the direct descendant of because he was a free roaming Indigenous person. He was free roaming in Mississippi outside of the Oklahoma reservation. That's why. Okay. So all these people talking about how I look, the color of my skin, whether I look African or whatever the case may be. Look, if I could see some African in my ancestry, okay, if I could see Nigerian, if I could see in my genealogy where I could see a person, my great grandfather he was on the ship out of West Africa. If I could see that in documentation, of course I would be proud.
Check and see if your ancestors came off a boat. Those records exist. Check and see.
But since that's not there, and what I see is 4, 5, 6 generations of people in Mississippi, and in Mississippi in a time where it was completely ruled by the Choctaw and not ruled by the English or the Spanish or anybody other than Choctaw, then that's what I'm proud of. Okay? And that's what it's gonna be. Okay? Show me records of anybody. Show me. You can't tell me where the heck I look like I'm from. Just because you Diablo, you want me to be Diablo too, Afro-Latino. No, I'm Mississippi. You hear me? But there's people who are just weird, okay? And then he said, you are ashamed of being Black. That's why you claiming other cultures that are not West African. And I've seen this a lot on this video. Black people are like this or whatever, but the only reason why Black people are like this is because they're Black. They don't know where their people are from. And they have been programmed by the white supremacists who want to take their identity, because I had a conversation with Choctaw Nation. If you can prove that in your genealogy that you have Choctaw in you, you get just as many privileges as somebody who's half, a quarter, a third, or whatever. Okay, so I'm for sure at the very least half, because I have my grandpa on my mother's side and I have my grandma on my father's side who are full-blooded Choctaw. They're considered full-blooded Choctaw, and I have the records of both of them. Okay, the other side, my dad's side of my dad's paternal side is Louisiana Creole. So that's mixed with Indigenous American, French, Cajuns, all that. Okay, and my mother's side is Cherokee. I have records of that. Okay, so very clear. I'm very clear on that. I have the records. So my question is, I'm gonna need y'all to show me where my tribe is and have documented evidence of my tribe in West Africa, like y'all want to say that I'm from, when you don't even know my last name or who I am or where I am right now. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to bring me some paperwork, because I've done the work on me. Okay, so when you have done the work on you and you have this kind of energy and people try to shame you for knowing who you actually are, and they keep trying to put you in this black box, like only people of my complexion, okay, only people who are darker than the brown paper bag, okay, because that's really what this is about. It's really about colorism. Because if I was a light-skinned person and my hair was down to my back, I wouldn't even have to have this debate at all whatsoever. Like, let's just call it what it is, okay? And those people, 9 times out of 10, if you actually looked at their blood quantum, and if they're saying they're Choctaw, 9 times out of 10, they're 3/16. They're all these 0.16% of a something, okay? And here we are walking around 1/4, 1/2 or full-blooded Choctaw. My grandpa is full-blooded Choctaw, darker than me, kinkier hair than me. And you're trying to tell him that he's from West Africa. The man grew up on a reservation. And you're trying to tell me that his ancestors was from West Africa when you have absolutely no proof. The only proof you have is a poor public education, a poor American education. Okay, that gives you no context at all whatsoever. Okay, so yeah, that is not gonna work on me. Shame tactics. People do the same thing over and over. And then again, I had a few people from Africa trying to tell me, first generation Africans, and this is the thing that in a lot of these people, okay, all of the people actually that had an issue with what I said were not American. For one, they were either Latino or they were African, or they come from some other place other than United States. They were immigrants. Immigrants telling me what a African American actually, like the genealogy of African American, when I am, these people consider me African American, but I've done my research, my genealogy, and I literally have been searching for an African person, one for years. And for me, I respect Africa enough. I respect the countries enough to, if I say that I'm an African American, if I say that this is where my brothers and my sisters is from and my people, I want to know, I have enough respect for my ancestors and for the continent of Africa, okay, to where I want to know what country, what tribe, what y'all doing right now? Y'all need some help? Can I buy some land over there? Do I have some land over there?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Right there. Listening to somebody else and not trying to find out on your own. You can check the record. How a DNA genealogy test that's full of congestions, okay, more creditable than documentation? It's not.
Black people, if you're purporting that you're from West Africa because of a percentage of something that you found on 23andMe test, a DNA test, which my sister did, and 1 year she was 50% Nigerian, next year she's 50% Kenyan, that's disrespectful. Because you're making it seem like, that's so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful, because this is really, because it's like, oh, well, you know, it's all the same. Kenya, Nigerian, what's the difference? No, there's a difference. I'm sorry, it's disrespectful. So y'all coming over here with that energy, and it's like really disheartening. It's really heartbreaking for my people to be so lost as to who they are, to the point where you have somebody from Africa, first generation here now, or from Mexico, born in Mexico, their parents are from Mexico or from South America and all these other places, and they come into here and they have the audacity to tell somebody like me who I am and what I am and what I'm not, when I have literal evidence, records. Okay, I'm working on getting my card right now, my Choctaw card right now. Okay, I have far more Choctaw blood than the guy. Have you seen the chief of Choctaw Nation right now? It's a white man. Okay, but again, you can have a million. This is what this woman said. You can have 1,000,000% of Choctaw blood and have all the privilege. You can become chief. You can do all this stuff because blood quantum doesn't matter. Because why? We want our select people to be able to come in and get privileges and get rights and be considered a part of this nation that they did not create. Okay, so I'm gonna need my people to have some more respect for themselves and for their ancestors, and stop letting these immigrants tell you who you are. Okay, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful in so many different ways. One is disrespectful because, for one, you're coming into a country, and because we don't actually know, like, black people, okay, because we don't know who we are. We don't know what kind of footprint we actually made, because they want to make it seem like we just were shipped here by the whites. We were sold off by the Africans. We were shipped here by the whites. And then we got here and all we did was we're slaves. It was built off the backs of the slaves. That's all. We didn't have no kind of mental capacity. We didn't invent nothing. We're not in politics. That's the idea that they want us to have. But when you actually start to know who your ancestors are, you get to see their names, you get to see what they did. Okay? You see far more contributions that your ancestors made to this country, to make it what it is, to make it the place that all these people want to come to. Okay? Okay? Like Choctaw Nation, they say, is one of the most intellectually advanced and advanced in general indigenous tribes in the whole country. And the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, a lot of these documentations that make this country so free were created by the indigenous people. And this is the way that the indigenous people were already moving before these Americans ever came here. You think these English people came over here and got a bright idea? No. You think these Spanish people came over here and got a bright idea? No. They came over here and they observed, okay, and they documented what we was already goddamn doing. And they implemented it in their own societies, okay? And that is why you have this country the way it is, okay? And you have people swimming over here, fighting over here, tooth and nail to come over here, but then they come over here and be disrespectful to people like me? Hell to the what? No. Y'all want to look down on us? Like, that's the part where I look. Cut it. Don't play with me. I will come for your necks. I will come for your necks. Okay? Come talking to me with that crap. Okay? I will read you for filth. Okay? And that's what I did in the comments. And a lot of times when I do this in the comments, it helps me, because I'll be like, whatever. It helps me to break down my argument and different things like that. And really get clear on my position. So I don't mind going in on these comments and going back and forth, because it helps me to dismantle what the average person is thinking and believing. Okay, because people keep saying, you need to do a DNA test. You need to, look, if I go to the Choctaw Nation and say, look, I have 23andMe, it says I have this percentage of Native American blood. Native American? What tribe? What tribe? Can the DNA test tell you what tribe you're from? No, absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. The only way you can register as a Choctaw or as a Cherokee or any Native American tribe is through genealogy. You have to prove that you're related to the people that you're related to, and then they have to see that those people were considered Choctaw, okay, and registered in the Choctaw Nation. There are a lot of people that look like me that are 100% Native Indigenous American who are not able to get that information because they may not be from the 5 civilized tribes. They may have been from a different tribe that, like from California. They have so many different tribes in California. Think about the dates. Think about the years. It wasn't until the mid to late 1800s that these people even started coming over there. So that means your great-great-great-grandparent, if they're from California, 9 times out of 10, they were a part of some kind of indigenous tribe. In the South, okay, mid to late 1800s, if your ancestors were already there, that means they've been there since it was ruled by the indigenous people. So it's up to you to do research on your ancestors. And I only responded to like 2. But from what I've said, you get the gist of what I've had to deal with from these comments. Like, and they have this one girl Lori Jalisa, somebody on there said that this girl is on every YouTube video on the subject. So clearly this is I say she is literally a Native American woman, a painting of a Native American woman. Okay, I'm gonna make a whole video. I've been saying this, but I'm gonna make a whole video about paid trolls, how to identify them, okay, and shut them down, because they're paid to do this. They'll sit there and do this all day. They're paid to do it. So yeah, I mean, people talking about this is a cultural appropriation. You're trying to steal somebody else's culture, and this is from people who are not even indigenous. And some of them might be indigenous, but are you from the tribe that I'm from? No. So I don't think that you're an expert on the indigenous tribe that my people are from. Okay, the state that my people are from and how long they've been there. You don't know my name. Okay, if you don't know my name, you cannot know what my ancestry is. And for the Black people, okay, there is a very clear reason why there is so much resistance for you to actually do your genealogy from person to person. Listen to your grandparents when they say you have Indian in you. Okay, we are the only group of people who have Indian in us. Okay, nobody else has something in them. Do you recognize what I'm saying? If somebody great-great-grandparents are from Italy, they're Italian. They don't have Italian in them. If their great-great-grandparents are Australian, they're Australian. Okay, if they're from Australia, they're Australian. Do you get my drift? They don't have it in them. That's what they are. Okay, if you have Indian in you, Indian blood, okay, according to the Choctaw Nation, it don't matter if you have a millionth, but 9 times out of 10, you have a half, you have a fourth, you have a quarter, you have far more than these people. You have far more. Okay, they copying off the footwork that we got naturally. Like, stop. My people been having the footwork in New Orleans on the streets with the feathers and the headdress and all this for centuries. Stop playing with me. And they out here coming down from their little reservation that's struggling. It's a mess because it's cursed, because it ain't real. I'm just straight. Hey, tell it like it is, because some of y'all is frauds. Okay. And now the veil is lifting. We're in the age of awakening. We have more access to information, and we can find out who we really are. And I feel like that should be your first priority. Before you come at some white person's neck, before you come at somebody's neck talking about blackness, first of all, you need to stop blacking out your own ancestors. You need to know who your ancestors are. You need to figure that out. You need to find that out. You need to find out what the real racism and the real generational curses in your ancestry is before you come for anybody. Okay? Because it's disrespectful, and it makes me so upset that these immigrants, and I'm talking about European immigrants, I'm talking about South American, Mexican, African, Asian immigrants coming in here telling me who I am, what I am, and what I need to do with myself. Hell no. Absolutely not. You're going to respect me. You don't have to like what I say, but you're going to respect my gangster. You feel me? But yeah, this is a wake-up call. Okay, stop being black. Stop being black. Joe Biden says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's 100% facts. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You ain't blind. You ain't erased. I'm not erased. I'm not blind no more. The cloth, the veil is lifting. All right, I'll see you on the next video. I'm out. Like, subscribe, comment below. Hey, if you want the smoke, come for me. Come for me. Come for me. I got the records. If you want the smoke, let's go. Let's go. Let me know what you think in the comment. If you're black, You want to be black no more. You want to know what your tribe is. You want to know where your people actually came from, whether they actually came from Africa or whether they've been here, and you have some things waiting on you, maybe some land. I got land on both sides, you feel me? Y'all need to be focused on that. Y'all grandparents got land and houses and property that y'all just too petty to come together on, okay? And y'all could be working on something and doing something. But you so focused on the white man, talk about the white man when you got land that he trying to get. All right, I'll see y'all next video.